ain't gonna even hold you. Shit that they be talking, but I haven't listened to it yet because I wanted to listen to it in real time. So I'm gonna play it. This is a 10-minute video, so we'll stop in, we'll stop in certain points and then talk about it. But let's get to
it. When people say you can do anything you want, I hate when people say you can be whatever you want. I hate when people say there's someone out there for you. No, there's not, and no, you can't.
That's yours.
No, that's the reality, because when you live as such, you're left like, why am I having a poor outcome? And it's really because what you think you have the choice of. Is it possible? Hell, anything is possible. But the odds are like winning the lottery. And if we know how the lottery works here, right? I don't know how many millions of people play. Only one person wins. But for some odd reason, it gives the illusion of hope, which is like a disease. And then people just think that they can be the lucky one too. No, you can't. No, most likely you won't. So when we understand that, then that's going to make us understand, hey, look, that woman over there, guess what? She was able to find a rich man that loves her right. Most times it's not that way. Mm-hmm. Hey, that man over there, he thought that girl was going to treat him right or be what he wanted her to be. Most likely she won't. So when we understand that the reality is the odds of what we are, desire, like they gave us the paradox of choice that we can have and achieve any type of relationship, is not true. But it's funny, like when I think about it with proven concept, I also feel like a lot of things have fell off. Like marriage back if we go like 1,000, 500, 300, 200 years ago, marriage worked because there was even exchange. Right? If it wasn't the partner, it was the partner's family or someone within that family. Somebody was putting in some type of equal value, right? But now we got this new theory of marriage where it's just love based, right? Where it's like, okay, if you make me feel some type of way, then that means that we can last longer or whatnot. But then 9 times out of 10, your feelings going to be shifted and changed for many different reasons. Sometimes you only feel this way because this person can provide certain lifestyles for you. When that person loses their job or for any reason why the finances run tight, they can no longer provide that lifestyle for you. Now, all of a sudden, the way you feel has changed. But if we really go back to the foundation of things, then I think proven concept works. But at this point in time, modern dating in totality has no structure, has no foundation, and really has no real theory. We have no real studies because everybody who's really living in this modern day world of dating is probably like 21 to 29.
I think it all just goes down to convenience, honestly. Back then, it was just more convenient to be with one person and to just live your lives as a happy mother, father, couple kids home. And now it's just it was just easier to do. It was a simpler lifestyle. And now we're just overstimulated. We're looking at this, we're looking at that, we're seeing these girls, those guys, like, and we're traveling more. We weren't, a lot of people that never even left the hood before, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm about to go to Atlanta, even if you've been in motherfucking Hartford all your life, and now all of a sudden, because everybody traveling, you want to go to Atlanta,
But look, here, check this out. Proven concept that having multiple wives works. This is not, but this is not like the non-proven concept. Or I guess I'm gonna say,
what you got?
Man, it's like so I'm married. My wife, everybody in her family married. Her brother, her mom and dad, her grandparents was married, cousins married, everybody married, right? My family, everybody's married. Both of us come from a married family, you know what I'm saying? Lineage of marriage, right? Of course, there's some people that's not married. But when I be hearing like these conversations, I'm not saying my way is right, all the way right for everybody, but there is blueprints to our template that you can use. And it's like they all out here, it's like going to a job and you just figuring it out as you go, and nobody's providing no templates on how shit should go. And if you do give them the template, it's like
before we jump in, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Listen, this channel is for people who want to have real conversations, no fluff, authentic, where we talk about money, mindset, and relationships and everything else under the sun, as long as it gets back to the money and how we can level up in life. Now, let's be real. Subscribing to this channel helps my content reach more people, which gets me closer to monetization so I can continue to keep giving you high quality content. Now, if you rock with that, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. Let's get back to the video.
Like they fight against it. And what I'll be hearing, like what Rico is, what's his name? Rico?
Yeah, Rico, yeah.
I understand what he's saying a little bit, but I can just summarize what he's saying. I think women, they look at possibility, men look at probability.
Yeah.
Right? Women, they look at possibility and they'll hold on to that possibility, and that would cause them to really overlook a lot of good men. They can actually have that relationship and marriage and that life that it's not stressful. They not finna have that boogeyman complex that they got. Every time you talk to them about men, they always bringing out the worst of the type of men.
Yep.
Right. So if you was to look at things from a probability standpoint, you would look at more qualities that you can rock with, so you can have that probability of being happy in a relationship. Because those type of character traits will transfer into a marriage. You won't be surprised of, or there won't be that many changes if you look at the traits that are transferable to a long-lasting relationship, other than you looking at possibility. So you overlooking like a lot of men. So you're not really focusing on what actually things that can go into a long-lasting relationship, traits that goes in a long-lasting relationship. Oh, girl, she talking about a whole bunch of shit that don't even goddamn matter with what's going on. She talking about you ain't left the everybody overstimulated and you ain't never left nowhere and this, that, and third. Bro, we back in the day, people was in proximity. So you met old girl, she lived in the next neighborhood, the neighborhood over, and y'all grew up and y'all got married, but you knew they family and they family knew the family over there, so it was easier to type of mess because don't mess with them, they crazy. Or that's a good family. You probably need to go check that out because they got good morals. The dad, he worked at the shipyard. The mom, she a nurse. She educated. She do this on the weekends. She help with the kids and everything. Yeah, that's probably a good, it's one of those type of things. So when I be hearing what they be saying, you got all these single ass people on here just blind leading the blind, and they getting information from other blind people leading the blind.
Yeah. They just go on, for me, it seems like they just go on the wildest emotions. She's talking about traveling. I think what she pretty much means is she's going with the flow. So like going traveling, so she goes to places where dudes are showing her so much attention. You got different kind of guys talking about Atlanta. You got rich dudes. You got semi-rich dudes that just give them all this damn attention, acting like they like them, and they think that's why everyone should be. Even when you said Rico was saying that it's proven where you have multiple wives, that's the same kind of thing to me too, with just the way I feel about if you're gonna get married. Just the way women work, to me, that's just asking for a fucking problem, man. I mean, yeah, you might convince a couple girls to marry you, and it'll work out for a while, but eventually something's gonna happen. One of those chicks, something is going to fuck up. Like I just don't. That whole concept, I just don't get it. I don't get the whole thing. Obviously we can do it, and it seems like it would probably be the funnest time in the world, but I mean, just because it's fun doesn't mean it's something you should do, I mean, I just don't see any long time coming out of it. But that's how women are doing it too. They're just going by their feelings, what's fun.
Well, and then on top of that though, a lot of this shit it's unrealistic too. They talking about just because, and this is the problem, and this is the only problem I would say that social media has, is that it gives people the illusion that they can just travel anywhere they want and then do what they will, right, and get the person that they want. Your average person ain't traveling like that. Your average woman, your average man ain't traveling like that. Everything is still in proximity. If you live in Phoenix, Arizona, you pretty much more than likely we talk about we talk about the probability, not the possibility. The probability of you finding someone in Phoenix versus finding someone across the fucking country is gonna be slim to none, right?
Yeah.
So your average in the average Joe or the average Mary that you're passing by every single day is not traveling like that. And so this is where they get so far removed from the actual conversation and what's actually going on out here. Your average person ain't doing that. So like Macaroni Tony said, there's always a foundation of how to do something. Just like when you just how you operate businesses, just how you operate in anything. There's always a foundation of how you do something. And then you take that and you adopt it and you make it your own. It's kind of like how you got McDonald's, but then you got Burger King. You got Burger King, you got Wendy's. You got Wendy's, you got In-N-Out. There's always a blueprint, but everybody turns it and makes it their own. And so, is there a blueprint for marriage? Absolutely. 1000%. There's always a blueprint because you can always look somewhere. You're going to find a successful relationship. You're going to find a successful marriage. And you find that blueprint, and then you take what is successful in that blueprint, and then you make it your own with this person or that individual that you decide you want to get married to. That's the problem. But I don't know what the fuck they be talking about, man. They be blowing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, these cats make more money than the normal people do, so they can have wild kind of lives. They can do stuff that normal people can't do. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of disingenuous for them to talk about what other people should be doing versus because they can do it. Not a lot of people can do it, and they shouldn't try to live that life. But that's the thing, though. It's easier for women to fall into that if you're just based on attention, because women are going to always get attention. And they got to understand not all attention is good attention. And I think that's kind of what veers them away from like that normal life. If you go out to the club, just say if you stay local, you go out to the club, you're going to always get hollered at. Like, it don't matter how you look. You can find a place where motherfuckers will be hollering at your ass.
Yep.
The biggest thing is I just wish they knew the difference from some cat trying to smash versus some dude trying to be with them. I think it's all attention. Yeah, I think they would be a lot better if they understood, because you hear them all the time when they're like these conversations where they have with a man. They try to tell a man what a man wants. It's like no, we don't. That's not true. That's not the way it is. Like, just because I holler at you, if I got a lot of money, I might spend on you, but I didn't ask you to marry me. I'm not telling you to come meet my family. I mean, I don't really fucking like your ass. In their mind, they think, again, like we were talking last week, that means that they got all this attention, they got all these people that's in their lineup and all that stuff like that, and it's not the truth, man. You're just a booty call.
Yeah, they it's like a lot of women, they got the boogeyman complex. I love saying the boogeyman complex because that's what's been created in today's society as far as when it comes to dating. Every man is the worst of the worst. There's only a few men out there that are worth a damn and doing what they're supposed to do. But in all in a real aspect, right? There are way more good guys than what people think.
Yep.
I think the problem is with a lot of women, they can't get past where they met that man at that point in time in life. It's like they have this thing where a lot of the guys that they didn't have experience with, that man is that man for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's the pool that they pulling from. These men ain't shit, this, that, and the third. And this ain't shit stuff is pretty subjective in the first place, because we might just don't align, and I didn't mistreat you, but in your head I did.
Yeah.
I probably didn't give the time. I felt like I was giving you enough time, but we was unclear. We was young. Whatever. We in college and everything. I thought I gave you time, but you wanted more. So you took it to heart, and you were talking to your friends, and your friends beefed up what happened, the experience, way more than what it really is. So now in your head, you always come across ain't shit ass dude. So then they had the boogeyman complex, and they met that man in college. They met this man when they was 28. They met these men when they was at this age. A lot of these guys, they are not the same men mentally when they get in they like 30, when they get like around 31, 32. Life whooping your ass. People treat you different. I think a lot of women, they don't respect the men experience and journey. And the men that's out here doing what they doing was that they don't even go to the club no more. Can't stand it. They don't go to the bars like that no more. They be going to speakeasy. They go golfing now. They go do all these other things. They meeting up in groups. They going to the cigar lounge. They networking. They going to business expos. They doing this. Hey, maybe I should tap in trading. I'm gonna just tap in for a good 3 months. I'm not really going nowhere. I'm kicking it. But we're not out there. So the men that ain't really got nothing going on, that's who they run into all the time. So when we have these conversations, they be bringing up the worst of the worst, which I call the boogeyman, to validate how the men that do have substance, right? What we trying to tell them of like what the actual good men are thinking.
Yeah.
So we'll say, good men, they not really looking for all that hair, like all that shit that she got going on. A dude that's been disciplined, he's at this certain spot in their life. Probably the man that she would want. That's with substance. He got money, he got status. He's emotionally intelligent. He's able to articulate himself. He got charisma. He got his own house. He got everything. Check off all the boxes. That guy probably wouldn't want to talk to her for real, because based on how she present herself. But if we sit there and tell that, they'll say we misogynistic. Y'all don't know her struggle. Her hair look cute. It look cute to y'all, but no.
Or some dude trying to smash.
Or like, yeah, exactly. They just trying to smash. You done heard women say, I done dated them all. You the common denominator.
Yep. Exactly.
And
hold on. Before you go, let me keep playing. Let me keep playing it.
Okay.
Before we go, let me play a little bit more.
But one of the oldest religions promotes polygamy. This is a fact.
Somehow yeah, but now everything is out in the open.
No, because we are saying we're overstimulated, right?
Yeah, but now everything is out in the open. So even if a woman didn't know, if a man was a great man and leaving and going to work, but his job didn't require for him to be at work for 10 hours and he could go and have another life at that time. Nope, everything is not being like, you can't be like, oh, I can see on your phone that you're not at work. Or, oh, somebody just posted a video at Walgreens and I saw you in the background holding hands with somebody. Like 40 years ago, that wasn't happening. So now everything is getting more difficult because everything is more.
Do you guys think it's FOMO?
I might say so. Fear of missing out.
What the fuck she talking about, bro?
No, do you guys think it's really? Do you guys think it's FOMO? Like you fear you're gonna miss out? Because I'm trying to think of it from an objective.
Fear of missing out of what?
So like you in this house, you've been with this person for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. The gram is popping. The streets are popping. Like, yo, what I'm still doing? Like,
now your life
I'm about to start.
That is a weak individual that chooses divorce because they feel like they're missing out on the street.
Why do they have to be a weak individual though? Why can't people just
married?
People's feelings?
No, but I'm married, but I have a fear of missing out.
No, not even missing out. But what if missing out is more of, okay, I'm in a marriage that's not taking me to places that I feel like I should be going. What if I feel more stagnant? Or what if I feel like I'm not able to do the things that I see people surpass? Like, I do want to be a multimillionaire. Why is it that I'm watching everybody be a multimillionaire and I feel like, okay, is it just because I'm content in my situation? It's okay to feel that way, to see everybody else progressing around you and then just feel, okay, you know what? There's something stagnant going on in my life and I'm watching everybody, you know, hit milestones and milestones. And sometimes maybe that's the reason your relationship doesn't work. It doesn't have to be because of that person. You want to leave that person. Because.
Well, I was just going to ask, like, is that stagnant, like, aspect of your life because of your relationship?
Sometimes it can be. Sometimes a person can be so content and like, you know, they don't have as, like, I know that I've dated people that weren't as big of dreamers as me, or people that were afraid to just take a chance or make an investment or do this and do that. And sometimes you're with someone who's going to make let's just be safe. I've seen couples grow for years. I mean,
see, hold up, but I gotta pause it. I gotta say some shit. I gotta say something because this is where the shit starts to frustrate me a lot.
Everybody think they can be a damn millionaire, and you finna fuck up your whole relationship because you're not a million. You're not a millionaire. Man, who? How do you know you got what it takes to be a damn million? Maybe you the fucking reason.
Though. You're not even giving it the thing is you're not even giving it the opportunity because you're too busy worried about everybody else instead of worried about your own household. If you are in a marriage, if you are a woman in a marriage, or if you are a man that's in the marriage, and you say, look, I want to figure out how the fuck to become a millionaire. The opportunity is out here for everybody. Now, of course, we all know everybody's not going to become that, right? But the opportunity is out there for you to work for it, to do the necessary thing that you need to do in order to get to that point. Why is it so hard for these women? And I'm not only going to talk about the women. I'm going to talk about some men too, because there are some lazy ass men out here too who don't know how to get out the mud. They are comfortable in who they are. They just are stagnant and shit like that. And so that's despicable to me too. But in this conversation right here, because I'm speaking on her. Why is it so fucking hard for you to have this communication with your guy, with your dude, and say, look, I'm a woman that needs X, Y, and Z. However, I want to make sure that I do this with you, right? So I want to make sure I become the best help me that I can possibly be to help us get to that point, right? So what are the necessary things that you need from me as your wife in order for us to get to this point, so that way we can live lives that I believe that we have the potential to make? Sit down and have the fucking conversation. That's the problem. People aren't having conversation. It's, oh, I feel this way because feelings are fleeting. I feel this way. I feel like this should do this. So if I feel this way, that means this is how it should go. So that means if I feel as if I need to be with somebody else because I want to be a multi-millionaire and I just feel as if it's not working here with me. That's what you're supposed to do. You decided to marry this person, right? Through sickness, through health, rich and for poor. That's what you're supposed to do. You have a covenant. You have made a promise to this person to make sure that you're going to rock with them. You're going to be their ride or die. That's what a ride or die is. That's what you're supposed to do.
Let me ask you this, Courtney.
What's up?
The way she presents herself and the way she talks and everything, her mindset, the way she communicates, the way she looks, the way she dressed. Do you think she was ever taught how to do that or even witnessed it?
Absolutely not. She hasn't.
That's the answer.
But
absolutely.
Even based on what you just said, she seems like the one who's like, I want to be independent. I want to make the money. I want to be the millionaire. I want to do all this. So that makes me ask the question: what the fuck's it have to do with the dude then? I don't understand, because she just said, I want to be this. I want to do this. She didn't say we. She said I, me.
That's another good question.
That goes to what I was saying, because she never was taught it, or she probably never seen it. So that's the whole issue at hand. She can't even grab the concept, because if you was raised around it and you seen it and you was taught it, she probably wouldn't even be up here saying what she's saying right now.
Yeah.
You have to listen to how she communicates and understand where she's coming from. She's coming from herself. I mean, she's coming from a place of self. Yep. If I am not a millionaire, it must be who I'm with. If I'm married and I want to be a millionaire and I'm not getting there, I feel unfulfilled. I'm looking at him because I've been taught that I should be able to be whatever I want to be. And if I'm in a marriage with somebody and I don't feel like he's as ambitious as me, he's pulling me down. Yeah. So I got to get up out of there. If you was raised around marriage or you was taught it, right, you'll be saying what Courtney was saying.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, this is what I want to do. What is the plan? If you good at what you talking about, you just want to work where you want and you good and you don't want to do more. Well, I'm gonna go find the answers. Can you just support me and we take it into the moon, right? That's how it'll be. That's how the marriage is. But society has taught women, even everything that I'm saying right now, you're less of a man because you're not wanting more. Even though y'all in two separate endeavors. Yep. You want to be an entrepreneur, but I got a career and I'm trying to matriculate through my career But that's what I'm doing, and I'm focusing on all that, which is paying for our benefits, your teeth, your health, and all that type of stuff. Because you want to be an entrepreneur, and you're not quite there yet. It's cool to have aspirations, but I'm taking a lot of the load of the real shit in marriage. Because if something happened to you and we don't have insurance, and I tap in this thing called entrepreneurship with you, we ain't got no insurance unless we paying for it out of our pocket.
Yep.
Right? There's no teamwork in any of her logic of what she's talking about.
Yep.
No.
So that's the reason why that's where I'll be saying when that's like coming from a place of seeing it actually happen. I done seen my mom and dad lift as they climb. They started at zero together.
Yep.
It was no conversation about 50-50 and 80-20 and all that type of stuff. I saw how they went from nothing and lifted as they climb to the point they was doing everybody, they were doing better than most people that they age, even at this point in their age.
Yep.
Right? I don't understand why all these damn chicks come from like they was the CPAs of their granddad and their grandma. How the fuck you know what was going on back then when they was in their 20s? How you saw the end result when your dad or your granddad matriculated through whatever endeavor that he had, and now he can pay all the bills when he was like 30 years old. Y'all don't know nothing that you and your grandma and granddad had got going on when they was in their 20s. They was lifting as they climb. How the hell they was going through Jim Crow, but he had all the money to pay all the fucking bills?
Right.
There's a lapse of history with a lot of these women. At one point, they'll say, the men are not like our granddads. And then you'll flip it, depending on the conversation. We don't want people like our granddads because they was beating shit out of us and they was using us as property.
Exactly.
Y'all got to fucking pick a lie.
Yep.
Dude, I feel like they got like a puzzle that was made in 10 different colors. And they got the right pieces, but they're all different fucking colors, man. Like,
no, they got two pieces, but they don't know how to put them motherfuckers together. It'd be upside down, and they don't keep one piece in place and rotate the other one so it can be right. They be moving it at the goddamn same time. And like, I don't understand. They can't figure it out. Why it just won't work?
They just pluck whatever the fuck they want that fits their narrative.
Yeah, and they the CPA or their mom or their grandmom and all that type of stuff. My dad, he paid all the bills. How do you wasn't even thought of when they was together?
Yeah.
You wasn't even thought of. You don't know what the hell they had going on. Whatever works in your house works in your house. And she's suffering from a situation. She's looking at all these outside entities to put aside. I mean, to put alongside of her aspirations that's based off other people.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I want to be a millionaire. Go do the research and see how many millionaires it is.
I agree.
Yep.
It's not an easy thing. It takes a while. It takes a while, depending on like how you gonna become a millionaire? Have you backward engineered your process? You're a millionaire. What industry? What you got to do to get there? How many employees you need to and do that? How you gonna upscale? What's the future plan with that? Like they don't even be thinking about that stuff. They just like, I want to be a millionaire because my friend's millionaires. And they just and another thing, they just be lying their ass up here, bro.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
Oh,
if you go look at the how many millionaires it is in the United States, how many of them are women? How many of them have successful businesses, right? What's the average amount of black people, men and women? What's the average net income of all entrepreneurs that own a business? The average net income is like 19,000. It's 19,000. And you might have the national average of all black businesses, 2 employees. That means you got a lot of people that just got another job. And they don't know how to scale the business because they have the mindset of that of I'm gonna just get it out the mud and just do it by myself, and they don't want to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
But majority of millionaires are married.
Yep.
So you shooting yourself in the foot this man is alleviating a lot of things that if you want to become a millionaire because you married, you can get there faster because there's more resources in the house. So if there's more resources in the house and you're not a millionaire yet and he dragging you down, you kick him to the curb, break up the house. Now you start from zero. And you ain't got no help. Your friends ain't finna help you because they too busy doing what they doing.
Hey, well, that's Snow White kind of world. She's gonna find a millionaire who's gonna come up in his Maserati, pick her up, and marry her like on the second date.
Probability versus possibility.
Yeah, I mean the other person had it right. That FOMO, they had it right. That's exactly what it is. But they'll just call it some other shit, just like she did. Hey,
they're not gonna admit it.
No, they're not gonna admit it. But that's exactly what it is. Oh, my husband's not ambitious enough. You know.
So I'll say this.
Blah, blah.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad. But
no, you got it.
I'll say this: there's an 8%. It's 8% of Black self-made millionaires. The majority of that 8% are Black men, and that number for women is an insignificant number that you can't even put out. That you won't even put out because the number is so insignificant of how many Black women self-made millionaires there are. So that right there puts a number in itself. So there are 27% of self-made millionaires across the board. 27%. 8% of that 27% are Black people. So that puts things into perspective for a lot of people. So a lot of these women who talk about these millionaires and shit like that, for one, it goes to show you that it's a facade for a lot of these people talking about, yeah, I'm a self-made millionaire. A lot of y'all niggas lying. That's one. But that don't mean that you aren't living in the middle class. That don't mean that you aren't living good, that you aren't living in a comfortable life, but you just ain't a millionaire.
Right.
So that's 8%. So that's a very small percentage of people. So then when you start to break it down, when you start to talk about, when you start checking out the boxes of, like you said, charismatic, need him to be in shape. I need him to be emotional, intelligent. All of these different things, this whole full laundry list of things that you want from this man, that means he is the 1% of the fucking 1% of Black people because you already got 8%. That's a small percent when you talk about 8%. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? Who the fuck are y'all listening to? What the fuck are y'all watching? When y'all talk about these type of men that y'all look for, y'all are fucking delusional.
I think they purposely, well, I ain't gonna say purposely. I think in the back of the head is something that they're doing to eliminate themselves from commitment because they don't know how to operate within a relationship themselves.
Yep.
Because if you get all that shit, or you get majority of it, all right, you get an emotionally intelligent man. He check all the boxes. He emotionally intelligent. You only want the emotionally intelligent when he's talking about other shit. But when it comes to your bullshit that you got going on and how it made it feel, like now you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and oftentimes that's not going to happen because women think emotional intelligence is the ability to just to talk about your feelings. And oftentimes when women start talking about their feelings, they get real emotional and they start attacking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence is to be able to control your emotions while articulating what you want to somebody else while understanding what you say may affect their feelings as well. That's emotional intelligence. So majority of times men practice emotional intelligence because before we start even talking to the woman, we say, hey, babe, I got something to tell you. I don't want you to be mad. This is just something that's coming from me. It's a concern. I love you. I don't see anything different, but I think it's something that we need to talk about.
Yep.
Right? Soon as he started talking about it, she'll bring up some shit. I'm like, well, what about you? You did this and this, that, and the third. I understand that, but we're talking about we can talk about what we did, what I did, but right now I'm talking about how you make me feel in that certain point. See, that's emotional intelligence because I didn't disrespect her at all. I just told her how I felt, and then I was in control of my emotions, even though it made me feel some type of way. What she did, she didn't practice emotional intelligence because she went on straight on attack mode. She invalidated what I said.
Well, I think a lot of them want you.
I've seen long-lasting marriages and relationships.
Oh shit, my bad. Go ahead.
They see emotional intelligence. I think a lot of them just want you to be a simp and you're just gonna deal with that shit. I think there's emotional intelligence for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Deal with my shit.
I agree. Well, let me play the rest of it.
relationships. But I'm like, yo, that person used to be like that person really could have gone far, but instead they ended up taking the safer route.
But do you wait? Hold on, I have a question. But is it like to a point where you start looking at outside of you so much that you become dependent of outside of you?
Too.
Like, I think there comes a time where, okay, you might want to be a multimillionaire. That doesn't mean your partner wants to be a multimillionaire. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we get stuck on our goals and projecting our goals into our partners. So if that's your goal, that's like your responsibility.
So do you stay with that person that you're not?
Well, no, like you don't. Like, I think that's when you take inventory and say, am I projecting what I want into my partner? Maybe that's not what my partner wants. Those are also not after marriage conversations.
Oh,
no, definitely not.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't even be married at that point.
But why is it that, like, I mean, my thing is this: when people are in a real healthy situation, you're in a good situation, right? Your spouse loves you, they treat you right. You may not be a multimillionaire, but you have a decent way of living. And then you see the outside world, and then you bite the apple. And once you bite the apple, out of nowhere, you're the disease in your house. And now you want to be a multimillionaire. Now you became stagnant. Now your spouse isn't doing enough. And now your relationship is hindering you. But if you never saw and compared your life to those whoever else that you're seeing, you would be happy.
Can I answer that with really one simple and I'm not saying that I agree with this, but I think the response is
if you own a gun, then just buying concealed carry insurance isn't enough to be prepared.
Hey, Buddy said this trumps America.
And so I think that
relationship
sometimes when
shit.
the haze clears and when, the scales come off your eyes, you're like, oh, shit, I've been out here fucking around for a long ass time. I need to be doing something more. I need to be doing X, Y, and Z. So again, these are not post-marriage, conversations, but I think that is like the very easiest way to respond to that.
And my response to that response would be no, because I've heard it and sometimes and I agree, but my response is it's like I understand when you want to do more, and if you know better, you do better, right? But we have to understand that more is greed sometimes. When you have something good, you don't need more. You can want more, you can desire more, but you don't need more. And 9 times out of 10, if more was really for you, you would have already been on that path. You would have already been on that journey. A lot of people lose everything chasing more, right? I'll give you a random example. A lot of people go to the casino, right? I was a heavy gambler at one point. It's not that I never lost. I mean, it's not that I never won. I actually won all the time. I hit every single time I went to the casino. The problem was I never stopped. So when I never stopped, by the end of the day, I was in the negatives. So that's how I feel like people look at life and people look at, their life in comparison to.
You hit all the time. You always won.
Exactly. I won every time.
But you don't stop.
But I don't stop. So you end up losing it all. Because when you have enough, you never realize what's enough because you're always thinking you can get more.
After you win, you end up putting it all in like I'm all in.
When you win, you keep playing because the winning is if you get a little bit of a reward for doing something, you're gonna think there's more reward.
Give up though.
I'm not telling people to give up.
Don't dream big. Don't strive for more.
No, I'm telling people
the person that you're with over your own feelings.
I'm telling people understand when you have something good, and understand what you don't have might be for your benefit.
I understand that.
And when you understand that, then people might stop. I don't believe in dream chasing if you wasn't a dream chaser. Like you just don't turn on the switch and then risk everything. Now, sometimes it does work, but again, very, very, very few people make that work, make that transition. Most people fail.
People do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? A lot of people do a lot of different things. And see, so that's what I be talking about, bro. It'd be like it's like what OGs back in the day, you like don't argue with women because it's not that you don't win. It just don't correlate, right? It's like he's literally giving them the game about because I got a friend, he's an entrepreneur, he do DNA testing. and he was that super duper entrepreneur, read self-motivation books. I'm in this thing, I'm going to this convention and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third, on that type of stuff.
Yep.
He's been doing it for a while. He's very successful.
Mm-hmm.
He got his own building now, DNA service building. He was like, Clem, I was wrong. He was like, dog, this shit is not for the weak. Everybody, that's the reason why it's so few, because people see the good shit in it. Like being able to say I'm a millionaire and I'll drive this car and all this stuff. But he said, man, he done took so many gambles.
Mm-hmm.
He done had to make like he done had to like make something out of nothing because he got people on his payroll. And it's not that he's tired of it, he don't like it, he's in it, it's cool. But he just saying it's a different perspective. It's like if you want to have your side gig, just have that.
Yeah.
Get your regular job, have your side gig, right? So you can have your job, good paying job, have the benefits. You have your side gig so you can do it on your own pace. Because once you go all in, you all the way in. And the percentage of failed businesses is high. So you sitting here banking your success trying to be a millionaire and you trying to blame it on the relationship. And that's what he was trying to articulate to them. If you got something good and you have your goals and everything, and you looking at, before everything was good, but you want more, you done messed up a marriage because you wanted more. Now you by yourself. You're not even looking at the future, because 5 years from now, you still probably ain't where you want to be.
Yep.
Because you just don't have what it takes to be that person. You're not staying up, losing sleep. You like, well, I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow.
Look, we losing sleep. We losing sleep right now, nigga. We finna make these millions. You feel me?
I ain't losing shit. I'm just letting y'all cook. I'm waiting for my turn.
And then and I say that I'll let him go because I know he finna go crazy. But I know about he gonna go crazy. But I just think like I was saying before, I think a lot of people, and I'm gonna just say this for men and women, I think right now we live in a society that we purposely put roadblocks to lose out because we don't want to actually be in that situation and be accountable for our actions, that growth. Because I think some people think when you get married that's where it is and you're going to be straight for the rest of your life. My dad always told me this. He said, you're going to be forever learning your wife. You're going to learn something new all the time about your wife. It's always going to be something new. He like, even today, he learned something new about my mom. Because as y'all grow as individuals, I mean, together, y'all still have individual paths that's going on. And you probably, you might change perspectives on that. And you're like, oh, I didn't know you thought like that. Oh, well, recently I just kind of look at things kind of differently. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yep. So I wouldn't mess up. Like, if you was to flip this, right? And the dude said, I want to be a millionaire, and he trying to level up and he wasn't getting there, and his wife wasn't trying to be a millionaire too. And we're like, well, we got to drop that bitch. We'll be looking crazy.
That's true. That's true.
That whole conversation will be totally different. You don't want to pour into your wife. What if she doesn't want to be? What if she want to be a stay-at-home wife and want to take care of the kids? What about that? What if she don't want to deal with all that nuance and all that crazy stuff and risk and stress and added on stress because she gonna have postpartism and her body is gonna change. She don't want to add all that extra stuff. But shut the fuck up.
Look at the same girl saying that.
Right. Postpartism, man. Come on.
She can understand now when it's flipped around, but when it's going that other way, it's all backwards. Mm-hmm. But what he said, I'll make it short. But what he said was, like they will ruin a good relationship over some pipe dream where they think it's gonna be better on the other side. Mm-hmm. Like I've personally seen this shit before. The dude is really good dude, may not be like the bad boy type, may not be, you know, someone who is, you know, does like crazy wild shit, but a real good person. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Marie.
Yeah, they end up just throwing a bomb in a good relationship, and they end up going to some other dude, most time a bad boy, and end up fucked, you know. And yeah, I don't see, if you got something good, man, I just don't see any reason to just blow that up over something you thinking you can get better, especially something like materialistic. If you're thinking about, you know, money or anything like that. Like you said, Courtney, like these people aren't even having these conversations. They're not even going to that person and talking. Exactly. They're thinking in their mind that they don't want to offend the person or, you know, try to make them do something they don't want to do. You got to talk to them first, especially about something like that. You know, and that's a reason a lot of people are breaking up, because they're not even talking. Like, shit, one of my relationships back in the day, like, I remember like going to work, everything was fine, it was all good. I'm like, man, she typically like text me around this time. Nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, whatever. Then I found out, man, she held this shit in for about a week. That she went through. I fell asleep, and something popped up on my phone. It was another girl text me about some other shit, but then she finally ended up saying, but like, yo, if you're the